Yo, what up guys, it's Juan. So today doing a bit of a retro review on the Nintendo Wii U. So the Nintendo Wii U came out approximately 2012. It was Nintendo's successor to the very successful Wii, which at the time was groundbreaking for its motion controls and such, and they really wanted to piggyback off of the success of that console. And they ended up making one of their biggest blunders in terms of successor consoles, which was, in this case, the Wii U. It was incredibly disappointing in terms of overall sales. It is still their lowest selling console up to date and has become more and more of a niche product as the years have gone on, specifically if you can find a Wii U that is in good condition, specifically on the GamePad itself. So the Wii U came with two different variants. The basic base model, if you will, for the Wii U, it had 8 GB of internal storage, and the deluxe version, which had 32 GB of internal storage. So really not much difference there. The deluxe version also came in an all blacked out variant, though in general the console itself is very glossy, so it is going to be a fingerprint magnet. It's going to have that glossy plastic where you can pretty much see all of the finite, thin, razor thin scratches, hairline scratches, fingerprints, smudges, all that stuff. So do keep that in mind if you are one who is very meticulous with your consoles, hate seeing all of that stuff on them. This is going to be one that you really don't want to touch all that much. So with the Wii U, what Nintendo was basically trying to do here was effectively a precursor to what the Switch currently is, which in effect is a console that you can sort of carry around away from the actual TV, take with you within a certain range of course, and then also play that console by the TV. Now, the Switch did it a heck of a lot better, but the Wii U for its time did an okay job through the GamePad. The GamePad itself was fairly functional. It had a touchscreen with a built-in stylus. For the GamePad, it had an NFC reader on the bottom left-hand side of the GamePad, which you could use amiibos for to unlock different in-game add-ons, characters, all of that stuff. So again, the GamePad itself was pretty cool. It had an IR sensor on it. It had a front-facing camera as well. So a lot of really cool features that honestly, in retrospect specifically, made the GamePad a bit ahead of its time and really set up the Nintendo Switch for what it is today. The Wii U was also Nintendo's first full jump into 1080p gaming. Prior to that, Nintendo was really underpowered, specifically when you were comparing the Wii to an Xbox 360, to a PlayStation 3. The Wii really wasn't able to match that graphically, so they were really just depending on the IPs of like Zelda, Mario, all of the mainline IPs to really propel that console forward, along with the niche and very unique, motion controls and such. But of course, the Wii U really added power to the console, really brought the more modern kind of feel to modern gaming in terms of really making this the first Nintendo console to have 1080p graphics and really pushing the limits a little further. The Wii U doesn't have quite the expansive library of games that you would find on, say, the Switch or the Wii, for example, because of how limited its run and lack of interest by the public was for the console. However, you'll still find some really good gems for the console. You did have the Wii U shop where you could download all of that really good content online. Of course, a lot of those servers are shutting down and such. However, you can still find physical copies of games for this console. My personal favorite is going to be The Legend of Zelda Wind Waker HD. I remember playing Wind Waker on the GameCube when I was a kid back in middle school, and having an HD version of that also makes use of the GamePad itself and really incorporates that with motion controls, whether it's tilting the GamePad forward, back, whatnot, incorporating the touchscreen as well. Really just enhances the experience and gives you a little bit of, like a modernized version of nostalgia for that game. And of course, Wind Waker is unquestionably one of The Legend of Zelda's best games up to date. A lot of other really good Zelda games, but for me, maybe it's nostalgia, but I really do enjoy Wind Waker. It's super cool, and the cell shaded graphic look of the game really makes it a bit of a timeless classic and makes it relevant to this day. Now, with the Wii U coming out around 2012, that was when touchscreens really were not as good as they are now, and this gamepad is no different. It really reflects tech of that time. So 2012, which is hard to believe that it's been 12 years ago, frankly, but again, technology moves incredibly quickly, and this is basically proof of that. If you look at the touchscreen on the Wii U gamepad, it is not necessarily like the very first iteration of touchscreens, but you do have a touchscreen that is reminiscent of those, with that very thin tactile type of screen that you would find back in the 2000s, late 2000s, and in this case, the early 2010s. So it's perfectly fine for what it is, but it's certainly not going to be what a touchscreen is in 2024 moving forward. It's not going to be quite that same level of touchscreen. It's not the same level of touchscreen that you'll find on the Nintendo Switch, but again, for what it is, it's still very good, and it's still super cool to have on the gamepad. You can also pick up additional accessories if you're not really into using the full gamepad controller. You can buy individual Pro controllers for the Wii U if you're more into a traditional standard game controller. Alright guys, that's pretty much it. If you liked the video, you know what to do. Give it a thumbs up, subscribe if you have not, comment down below as well with any questions or comments that you might have on the Wii U, any of your favorite games for the Wii U, or any other content that you would like to see on the channel. Aside from that, it's Juan, and I'll catch you guys next time.